afternoon, the 5 p.m. agenda review session will begin now, followed immediately by the city council meeting of June 5th, 2024. We have approval of minutes, and we have report of correspondence, public hearings, we have various, for tonight. We have Rhythm Hospitality, trading as social bar, legal license. We have the Vine, we have La Famosa, and we have the Gala Cafe. Then we have ordinances on second reading. Number one, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of Brunswick. This is in reference to fees for land use procedures. Then we have number two, is the ordinance for the temporary closure of West Street, between Albany Street and Ryder from Thursday the 6th to Sunday, September 1st. We have ordinance on first reading. We have an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick. This is in reference to parking zones for handicapped person. We're adding a couple of places. Then we have an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick in reference to stormwater control ordinance. Number three, we have an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick. This is related to various changes. We have resolution 1 to 42. Resolution number one, approve agenda amendments. 2, approve payroll. 3, authorize legal for review tax sale certificates. 4, approve resolution to refer amendments for the land development code to the planning board for review and report. This is in reference to the stormwater control ordinance. 5, approve one-year action plan for the city of New Brunswick. This is related to the CDBG and home funding. 6, approve resolution to establish a lease property rates for city planner. 7, approve amendment of resolution 082365 with earthquake and equipment doing business as Apollonia Inc. 8, approve amendment of resolution 02407 with Rosia Corporation. 9, authorize professional service agreement with McManus, Scotland and Bowman. 10, authorize professional service agreement with McManus, Scotland and Bowman. 11, authorize tax collector to transfer credits on several tax and utility accounts. 12, approve ABC legal license renewals for 2024-2025. 13, approve a water contract with George Dapper Inc. 14, approve amendment of resolution 012262 with Port and Main LP. 15, approve amendment of resolution 042438 requested by New Brunswick tomorrow. 16, approve a request for use of city property and use of city sidewalk requested by Lazos America Unida. 17, approve request for street closing and use of city sidewalk requested by New Brunswick tomorrow. 18, approve a water contract with City Brothers Contractors Inc. 19, approve request for use of city properties with closure and use of sidewalk requested by the Brunswick Recreation Department. 20, approve request for use of city property requested by Port Robertson Community School. 21, approve request for use of city property requested by Robert Johnson University Hospital Community Health Promotions Program. 22, approve amendment of resolution 032418 with French and Parello Associates. 23, approve amendment of resolution 022459 with Roberts Engineering Group LLC. 24, approve amendment of resolution 062423 with Roberts Engineering Group. 25, New Brunswick City Market 2024 budget. We're going to have the introduction of the budget tonight and the public hearing for Wednesday, July 17th. 26, resolution authorizing the city to accept and implement the 4-year neighborhood preservation program grant or neighborhood preservation program. 27, amendment to establish change 1 for municipal court. 28, approve resolution authorizing an application to the New Jersey Urban Enterprise Zone. 29, approve a water contract with JAK Construction Corporation trading as Diamond Construction. 30, approve amendment of resolution 062333 with Underground Utilities Corporation. 31, approve relaxation of the city ordinance requested by Polar Arts. 32, approve relaxation of the city ordinance requested by Black Lord Construction. 33, approve amendment of resolution 12205 with Champion Elevator Corporation. 34, approve amendment of resolution R062332 with Civics Construction Services. 45, approve amendment of resolution 012386 with Brighton Engineering. 36, approve resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding between the city of New Brunswick and Middlesex County. This is for the Middlesex County healthcare kiosk. 37, approve resolution setting a hearing date for ABC charges for the Gala Cafe, 39 the Gala Cafe and Restaurant. 38, approve resolution setting a hearing date for ABC charges for Golden Ray LLC. 39, approve amendment of resolution 092319 with Suburban Consulting Engineers, Inc. 40, approve amendment of resolution 052407. This is for the Juneteenth celebration requested by the Brunswick Cultural Center. 41, approve amendment of resolution 062335. This is for the schedule of payment of to city engineer pursuant to municipal land use law. And 42, resolution providing for conditions of temporary closure of George Street from Thursday, June 6, 2024 to Sunday, September 1st, 2024. Then we have items for discussion by council. Public comment, based to remember, city council agenda review. The next one will be Wednesday, June 19th at 5. Following meeting by city council.
Madam Council President, if I could just interrupt here. I noted a typographical error in resolution 25 for the budget review.
Okay.
The special improvement district, actually it says 7, it should be a 9, it's July 19th, our next meeting, or that meeting is July.
Okay.
Okay. It's July. Okay, I think it might be, let me go back and look. Councilman Ferguson and I were just discussing that. It's a Wednesday, it's the 17th.
July 17th.
Okay, is it Madam Clerk? I just want to make sure I have it right. Okay, so it is correct.
Thank you.
Disregard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's strange, disregard now. At this time, please call to order.
Councilmember Castañeda.
Here.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Here.
Councilmember Fleming.
Here.
Councilmember Gaskin. Here. Councilmember Secor Ludwig. Here. Council Vice President Anderson.
Here.
Council President Escobar.
Here. Please be advised that the legal requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act has been complied with and satisfied, in that the annual notice we gave sufficient notice of the time and place and content of all public meetings of the municipal council of the city of New Brunswick has been filed with the city clerk, has been placed on an appropriate bulletin board in City Hall, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the city of New Brunswick, namely the Home News Tribune.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I just want to remind everyone that, especially we have a lot of men in the audience and here. I think it's June is Men's Health Month, and I think it's a great opportunity to remind of the importance of prioritizing your health and wellness, especially among men. That usually doesn't happen. This month also raises awareness of preventable health issues and diseases, and also promotes early detection. So I urge you, if you're a man, take this month and take care of your health. Be proactive, don't be afraid, and take care, make sure that your health management is good, as well as, your work and everything aspects of your life. You gotta take care of your health also. So thank you.
Move the minutes. Councilmember Castañeda.
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Madam Clerk has a correspondence that is directed to our appropriate departments.
Yes, Madam President, the correspondence received by the city clerk's office was forwarded to the appropriate departments for further action.
Thank you. At this time, we have a couple of public hearings, so I'm going to turn over the meeting to our city attorney, Mr. Shannon, to provide an overview of the public hearings for the licenses with conditions.
Yes, thank you, Madam Council President, members of council, members of the public. This is the time of the year where we review those liquor licenses that have special conditions imposed by the city council in connection with their renewal application. We have 4 licenses on tonight. They all have a special condition or conditions in connection with their renewal. As is required by law, we have to have a public hearing on the reimposition of those special conditions and an opportunity for the public or the licensee, should the licensee so desire, to comment on the reimposition of these special conditions. I will note for the record that none of the licensees for these 4 liquor license establishments, I should say, have indicated any objection to the reimposition. And in fact, to my knowledge, no representatives are here this evening to speak relative to those particular special conditions in the reimposition of same. I will also indicate for the members of council that Detective Ryan DeVraw is present from the New Brunswick Police Department, Special Investigations. He is the ABC Enforcement Officer for the City of New Brunswick Police Department. Any questions that may come up that I can't answer, the council may have, Detective DeVraw is here to assist. I'd like to run through these as we say run. I'll read as fast as I can. I know the council has a busy agenda this evening, but when we approach the portion that we open up the public hearing, we'll do that, and then same rules apply, up to 5 minutes per person on anything dealing with the special condition reimposition on these licenses. For the benefit of the council and the public, I'll read the special conditions that are proposed to be reimposed for the new license year, and we'll get through it, okay? The first one on council's agenda is the Rhythm Hospitality Group LLC, trading as Social Room, liquor license number 1214-33-079-008. The special conditions that are intended to be reimposed or proposed to be reimposed are the same that have been in effect since license year 2008 and have been reimposed upon renewal for consecutive years through the last license period. They are as follows. The licensee shall limit its maximum occupancy for the licensed premises to a total of 399 persons. Licensee will cease the practice of conducting team nights or 18 or to enter 21 to drink events at the premises. Licensee shall comply with all New Jersey state statutes, New Jersey ABC regulations, and local New Brunswick city ordinances regarding advertisement and promotions relative to events at the licensed premises. 4, the licensee acknowledges that New Brunswick Police Department and/or New Brunswick Fire Department are permitted to and will conduct periodic inspections of the licensed premises at the respective department's sole discretion, and the licensee shall comply with all requests of the respective department during said inspection. 5, licensee shall not allow, permit, and/or suffer in and about the licensed premises the consumption of alcoholic beverages by persons under the legal age to consume alcoholic beverages. 6, the conditions placed upon the license shall continue at the annual renewal of same, and the licensee hereby consents to and agrees to the within conditions, subject to modification and/or removal of part or all of said conditions by the City Council of the City of New Brunswick at the City Council's sole discretion. Having read those special conditions, Madam Council President, I would request that you open the public hearing and entertain any comments or questions.
At this time, if there's any member of the public who wishes to address the council on this particular license for Rhythm Hospitality Group, trading as Social Room Bar, come forward. None? Next.
Close the public
Close
hearing.
it. Close it.
Okay, motion?
Second. Councilmember Castañeda?
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson?
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming?
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin? Yes. Councilmember Secor Ludwig? Yes. Council Vice President John Anderson?
Yes.
Council President Escobar?
Yes.
So therefore, with respect to that liquor license establishment, Madam Council President, members of council, the proposed renewal, when that is presented for consideration by council, will contain those 6 special conditions. The next licensed establishment we have is the Vine of New Brunswick LLC, trading as the Vine, liquor license number 1214-33-028-006. The special conditions to be reimposed upon this licensed establishment are as follows. A licensee shall not alter the premises from the dual layout shown in the sketch plans previously furnished by licensee and drawn by architect Pietro Rosato on October 26, 2022, and on February 14, 2023, as revised on May 12, 2023, which are on file with the city clerk without first obtaining further approval of council by resolution. 2, there shall be no live music or live entertainment, provided that this shall not preclude the playing of a jukebox or television set. And 3, the above license is granted subject to compliance with ordinance O-029609 as amended relative to educational requirements for managers. Those are the 3 special conditions. I would request that the council president open this one up for public hearing.
At this time, any member of the public who wishes to address the council on this particular license for the line? We don't have to entertain a motion.
Second. Councilmember Castaneda?
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson?
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming?
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins?
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig?
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson?
Yes.
Council President Escobar?
Yes.
Okay, Madam Council President, members of council, those 3 special conditions will be contained in the resolution of renewal when so presented to council for consideration upon renewal. The 3rd licensed establishment is La Famosa Inc., trading as La Famosa, liquor license 1214-33-045-003. This licensed establishment has 5 special conditions which were initially imposed back in calendar year 2000 and have been reimposed for every subsequent license renewal year thereafter. They are as follows. The licensee shall control loitering in the area adjacent to the licensed premises by 1, posting signs and/or 2, calling police for assistance. Number 2, licensee shall provide distinctive attire for security personnel, which identifies their status as security personnel. 3, licensee shall maintain a video camera on the exterior of the licensed premises and shall annotate all film for time and date and maintain said tapes for at least 30 days. 4, licensee shall not alter the premises from the layout shown in the sketch plan previously filed with the city clerk without first obtaining the approval of council by resolution. And 5, licensee shall be in compliance with ordinance O-029609 as amended relative to educational requirements for owners and managers. Likewise, with this one, Madam Council President, I request that you open it for public hearing.
This time, we are opening the floor for any public member who wishes to address the council on La Famosa liquor license. Entertain a motion.
Second. Councilmember Castaneda?
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson?
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming?
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins? Councilmember Secor Ludwig? Yes. Council Vice President Anderson?
Yes.
Council President Escobar?
Yes.
Okay, with respect to La Famosa, therefore, any future resolution for renewal will also contain the 5 special conditions outlined here this evening. Lastly, we have the Gala Cafe and Restaurant, Inc., trading as the Gala Cafe and Restaurant, liquor license 1214-33-007-003. The 2 special conditions which are being sought for reimposition have existed since calendar year 2020 and have been renewed every subsequent license year thereafter. They are as follows. Licensee shall hire uniformed private security to maintain security on and about the licensed premises while the premises are open for business during the hours of 10 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. The licensee shall also furnish monthly written reports of the names and addresses of such individuals so employed to the New Brunswick Police Department Pension Special Investigations Unit. 2, all live and recorded music shall be turned off no later than 1:45 a.m. on Friday, Saturday morning, and Saturday, Sunday morning, and at 1 a.m. on Sunday, Monday morning. Those are the 2 special conditions with respect to the gala. Madam Council President, I would ask that you open this one up for public hearing.
It's time to open the floor for the public to comment on this specific liquor license for the Gala Cafe. To take a motion to close.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes.
Madam Council President, members of council, therefore, those 2 special conditions will be contained in any resolution submitted to council for consideration on renewal for the 24-25 license year. That concludes the 4 liquor license establishments that we are seeking imposition of special conditions upon renewal. And I thank the council for their time and consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we proceed, we have ordinance for discussion and second reading. We have ordinance 052405, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 3, Revenue and Finance. This is related to fee schedule, fees for land use procedures. Any questions from my fellow council members on this one? Mr. Dominguez, if you could just give us a small summation or a short summation about this one to remind us, please.
No problem, thank you, Council President. This ordinance will amend the section on fees for land use procedures by cleaning it up and removing references to review rates, fees for review rates by the city engineer and the city planner, as those are to be set by resolution rather than by ordinance. So the ordinance will now refer to that by set by ordinance or some other language to that effect. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it does say that now it will be set by resolution, which is, as per statute, the correct way to handle that.
Thank you. At this time, any member of the public wishes to address the council on this specific ordinance? Seeing none?
Move the ordinance.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin. Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Then we have ordinance 052406, it's an ordinance for the temporary closure of George Street between Albany Street and Barry Street from Thursday, June 6, 2024 through Sunday, September 1st, 2024. Hi Pam.
Hi.
Can you just give a brief overview of this particular for this year? What's going to be happening?
Sure. This year, we are going to have public seating between Patterson and Church, as well as some public seating between Church and Albany Street. That's something that the public has consistently asked for, so we're going to do that. And Tavern Taka Taka is going to manage the public seating that will be between Patterson and Church. And then Harvest Moon will manage the seating between Church and Albany Streets. We're also looking at lunchtime music. We are also bringing in a Mariachi Fridays, a silent disco night, a Latin night, a swing night, trivia nights. We're going to have Christmas in July. We're going to have game night for kids. We're also going to be doing a cast fest, mixology classes, trivia nights, and we're working on additional program once we know whether or not the street will be closed. So,
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Yes.
Council President, there are other members of the board from the city center here as well, and they've provided a very robust schedule that I've seen a draft of that shows a lot of activity during the closure period.
Yes, this is going to be very busy, seems like it's going to be a very nice,
Let's hope for good weather this year.
Hey, any, council members, any questions, any comments?
So the calendar programming the draft was very impressive, and I
public seating. I appreciate that. Thank you. So at this time, any member of the public who wishes to address the council on this particular ordinance, you have a chance to do so. Right now, you have up to 5 minutes, one time off.
Good evening, my name is Barbara Burton. I live at 7 Livingston Avenue in New Brunswick. I am strongly opposed to closing this area. I was there, I know you closed it when the pandemic came. I was here last summer, and it was very underutilized during the day. In the evening, there was congestion, people trying to find parking, the public transportation, the bus, and as you know, a lot of people in New Brunswick use public transportation. The buses were rerouted. The drivers didn't know where to stop, we didn't know. The signs still remained up that this was an active stop, and it wasn't. The bus leaves New Brunswick, train station by the overpass, and then it goes to the Hyatt, and then the next time it's over by the 7-Eleven, which is way down the street. That whole community, the street is only very active for 3 restaurants, maybe. Everybody else suffers, all the other restaurants. The seating is, during the day, you maybe see 10 people on the street. You talk about this public seating, where's this public seating going to be? Is it going to be movable? You've already changed the benches from the bus stops and to make them leaning posts, which I'm glad they're that way. But the homeless still continue to sleep in that area. They now came up with some other creative structure that they sleep in, and so now you're going to put public seating that's going to be used as sleeping space during the evening. I just strongly oppose this, and I think you need to rethink that you're doing this for 3 stores, 3 restaurants, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you for speaking up.
Hi, yes, Danielle Moore. I'm also going to speak on it. It's not like when COVID-19, wow, it's not like I didn't have enjoyment down here on George Street with outdoor dining, due to where I like any type of music. That's what I tell people, therapy. But it was where when you had the TVs, the music, then okay, when the parking wasn't spiked up, you had customers. But what did I tell you last year? And the same thing, if you're not seeing what I said already with major flooding, the way that rain came down today, on a sudden, obvious how we keep getting downpours. What did I tell you last year? I said, wow, it's not going to give you any business. Do you think about anything, as much as I've been telling you, proving to you how I do see things in advance? Do any of you take anything seriously? All you think about is money putting in your pockets for 3 businesses, and really the only one that made money was Tavern. But like I said, please, what is the use? And honestly now what they're just saying, due to it now, like me and Mr. Crowder have been asking, what was the use of taking the benches away from the buses instead of you acting like you didn't know what for? Then due to where this temporary, you said temporary closing, then it's going to be the permanent closing. But wow, you're only thinking about your friends. Do you think about what's really going on with the public? No, you don't. And like I said, please, honestly, I don't even want to really look at some of you council members due to what? You're not here for the public. You're here for money in your pockets and your friends. Well, just like people said, now due to where some families said they don't want to come down there and bring their children, due to ever since you opened up 2 marijuana shops, that's the situation. Marijuana is legal to smoke. It's not like you didn't see it on Facebook with several people saying, wow, I do not want my family sitting next to nobody smoking marijuana. That's one of the second reason why you didn't get any business last year, and why I tell you, due to where I was a laughing joke I put up on Facebook. Wow, I said, wow, first time I ever seen a line going around the block for the marijuana shop down there. Oh, what was today? That was on April 20th, a line around the whole entire block for marijuana. Please, like I said, what are you gonna really do? And I tell you, honestly, wow, some of you really need to start getting bit in your hearing because you're not here for the community. You are not. Please, like I said, why don't you think about others State Smart, and that's luxury apartments. Really, what, there is no downtown hardly anymore. Why? Because you, council members, the planning board, the zoning board, and the mayor are destroying New Brunswick because, like I said, beauty will not make New Brunswick better with all the crime, all the homelessness, all the drug users, due to what? You're destroying New Brunswick. I've been here 47 years. Never like this, but that's because we got very dishonest people who do not tell the true truth. And like I said, please, honestly, you don't want to listen to me when I give you heads up what's going to happen, then you'll pay the price for it.
Next.
Hi, April Nicholas, 143 City Street. I do want to start by saying that I think, overall, I appreciate the idea of, making this a pedestrian-friendly zone, and I think that, I've brought this up a number of times before, that the implementation matters a lot, right? I mean, there's ways to do it right and ways to do it wrong. I appreciate that, for this planned upcoming closure, that there will be public seating. That's something that I brought up a number of times last summer, that I felt that it was, one, making it less pleasant for people to use that space, and two, not particularly fair to other businesses that didn't have designated seating, because then their customers wouldn't have anywhere to go. And I think that the public seating will be helpful in allowing people to utilize not just a handful of the businesses that have designated seating spaces, but any of the businesses where they might be, interested in going in and shopping and then sitting down outside for a while. So I'm thankful for that. I do think that the point about the public seating being utilized as sleeping space for folks that don't have homes is also a very fair concern. I would say that that's a big problem, and something that I've also spoken at these meetings about, and that has come up in a number of other ways. I think that the solution isn't to say we can't have anything good in New Brunswick because we have other problems. I think we just need to actually put more resources into solving the big problems. So that's all I have on that front. It sounds like there's a lot of great programming for this year, and hopefully that will get better utilized than last year, where it was a little dead a lot of the time. I'm also concerned about the signage for public transportation. I think rerouting the buses, does create some confusion, and especially with the existing signage remaining up and being incorrect for this period that it's closed. I'm wondering if there was any plans to adjust the signage to indicate to people where they actually should be going, so that there isn't any confusion this summer. I don't know if there's any plans for that.
I'm just listening now, and then I'll, circle back to
Yeah.
the training.
And then I think kind of the obvious point that everyone's raised yet is that this is on the agenda as an emergency ordinance to take, being discussed today to take place tomorrow. I'm all for it being closed for the summer, but I do have to ask why is it so sudden? Isn't this something that could have been anticipated and introduced earlier? Because I imagine it'll be a little bit of a shock for folks who are trying to use the road as normal tomorrow, that all of a sudden it's unavailable and there wasn't any way for them to have any prior notice of that. So that's all I have.
Next.
Good evening, Charlie Bradfield, New Brunswick Today. The last speaker said a lot of the things that I wanted to say, but I also, want to start by saying thank you to whoever decided to include the public seating. I think that adds value and can be a good thing, especially if it's done right and supervised by the businesses that are open at those times. I also I have to echo the concern about public transportation. It was really not clear to me why the seating from the shelters was removed. I mean, I have theories as to why you might have done that, but it was framed as just a refresh or some sort of like an improvement. I don't see it as an improvement. I think that if you are going to close the street to vehicles and therefore the buses won't be going down there, you should move the shelters to where the buses are going to be and put benches so that people who aren't comfortable standing for long periods of time can sit and wait for the bus. Like, has been the norm. I don't know, I don't know whose idea it was to remove the seating, but it doesn't seem like it's really moving us forward in any meaningful way, especially if now you're going to close the street anyway. So I also have to ask about the emergency. What is the emergency? This is an emergency ordinance on your agenda. It says it's deemed an emergency, but there's no reasoning explained in the ordinance. Can someone tell me what is the emergency? Why does this have to be done immediately?
I would address that when everybody else has spoken.
I don't see anybody else.
When you're done, when you're done, I don't want to take up your time, I will answer.
You can use as much of my time as you'd like to answer that question.
Again, finish your statement, and I will answer that later.
I would like the answer so that I may ask follow-up questions. I think that's reasonable. Can you explain the emergency? Can anyone on the council explain what is the emergency?
Again,
Why is this being
all
done as an
those- I have
emergency?
it right here, so finish your statement, Mr. Farrow.
Okay, well, I think you should answer questions when people ask them. I think you should include in the ordinance what the emergency is, rather than being vague about it and just saying, we deem it an emergency. And let's be honest, it's not an emergency. This is, for whatever reason, been brought, not timely for approval. Ordinances have a time period where the mayor gets 10 days to decide whether he wants to sign it, 20 days to take effect. There's a reason for that. And I think that it will take folks by surprise if you actually close the street tomorrow. Is that what you're planning to do? Are you actually planning to have the closure in effect tomorrow? Will the mayor sign this? Why is this being rushed? Why not have a normal ordinance if you can't articulate what the emergency is?
You done?
I really wish you would just answer the question. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm trying to get information to be able to have a dialogue.
I'm telling you to finish your statement, and I'm going to address I'm going to ask the staff to address some of the concerns that everybody has brought up. So finish your statement.
Okay, well, I want to hear what you're going to do about the buses. And again, thank you for adding the public seating. I hope it works out. And yeah, please tell us what the emergency is. It's kind of a mystery, and I've been looking into it. Thank you.
So, Ms. Stefani, and I know that you have some members of the city market board. Yes. You want to address some of the, at least, some of the planning, the public seating, some of the concerns that they have brought, that is it more than good businesses who are benefiting from this, who else is involved with this? So if you could just talk a little bit about that.
Sure. This request was, first of all, the request was submitted several weeks ago, and then we were asked to put together a list of programming that would be robust. So that took a little time. This is on the second reading, not the first reading. So it was in the first reading back in May. We have Fat Cactus, Chichnek, Tavern on George, Harvest Moon, Sophia's, Semicolon is looking to come out. They're not sure if they'll have the staff at the time, but they are looking to utilize the road. Salad House I've spoken to, they would like to come out and utilize the roadway. Reiki also is potentially looking, it all depends on staffing that they will have during the summer. So once they know whether or not the road will be closed, then they will be able to submit their application to the city.
Thank you. Can you talk a little bit about, in terms of the planning, you mentioned that TACA, I believe the restaurant will be taking care of one of the public areas, and there's another restaurant. Can you talk a little bit about what does that look like? Is it going to be stationary, are they going to move it after some time, is it going to be overnight? What does that look like? They're manning the public seating.
Currently, the seating it'll be public and it'll be there overnight. Both by Taka Taka, Rite Aid area, and then over by the Salad House, we'll be putting public seating as well. Closer to Kilmer Eatery that recently closed down, and then making room for the Salad House to potentially put out some tables and chairs. And Taka Taka will be managing those tables between Patterson and Church, and Harvest Moon will be managing the tables between Church and Albany.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Lewis, or Mr. Chairman, because I don't know who we need to, who have the answer, about the transportation, the concern about the buses and the signage, that the public has enough ample time to understand and remove those signage, people know, what is the plan for that, what is the implementation plan?
I don't have the details for you now, but I assure you that I'll work with Valenti and their engineering department to see what their plan is. They generally handle these things, and then if there's anything to report back, I'll make sure we do it.
Please, because it's a valid concern, right?
It is,
To make
yes.
sure that the public knows where the transportation, where is it that they need to wait, and that it doesn't create that much of a hassle for them. And then, the last question that they pose is is this an emergency? Why is it was, constructed as an emergency, for tonight, Mr. Shannon?
Yes, Madam Council President, this council has the authority under statute to make an ordinance effective immediately. The emergency language, I suppose, is a term of art to some degree, but if this particular council has a desire to make an ordinance effective immediately in the interest of the health, welfare, and safety of the residents of the municipality, for really any reason, this is a closure of the street, you could do so by declaring that the ordinance takes effect immediately after execution by the mayor, and not have to wait for 20 days. That's really what we're doing here.
And
It's still published,
I was
after
gonna
it's
say,
signed, it's still.
so, and they still, because they still, the plans of the transportation, notifying the
Well,
public,
obviously,
transportation,
the
the
thing has to
secretary
be
said.
in place, I would imagine, before they just close the
Close the
street,
street.
you know, by 7 o'clock, yeah, I would imagine that.
Thank you, I just
all
wanted to
those
clarify
things have
that.
to be in order.
There are permits that my clerk's office and all that.
So it's not like it's gonna be closed tomorrow. Thank you. Mr.
My understanding is like last year, we closed the street until like November. Is that correct? And this year it's only going to September 1st. So they're shortening it to see, you know, if it can really do the business. Okay.
Any other question from my fellow council members? At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Oh. Before we come in part of it, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Councilmember Castañeda.
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins. Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. And we have ordinances on first reading, we have three of them. Number one is ordinance 062/401, and ordinance to amend and supplement the revised ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic. This is for parking sources for handicapped persons. We are adding 3 sites, 108 Chester Circle, 56 Church Street, Apartments Way, and 50B Hassel Street.
I move the ordinance setting down to 19/2024, 5 p.m. San Diego. Second. Councilmember Castañeda.
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins. Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. We have ordinance 062/402, and ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 16, Land Development Code, Site Plan Reviews, Stormwater Control Ordinance.
I move the ordinance setting down to 19/2024, 5 p.m. San Diego. Second. Councilmember Castañeda.
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins. Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. And then we have ordinance 062/403, and ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic. This is in reference to various changes.
I move the ordinance setting down to 19/2024, 5 p.m. San Diego. Second. Councilmember Castañeda.
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes, then we have resolutions 1 through 42. Do any of my fellow council members have any questions or comments on the resolutions presented? I have some questions and clarifications. So, Mr. Dominguez, resolution number 5, if you could just tell us a little bit about that one. Give us a brief of that.
Certainly. So,
President. So every year we get an allocation of funds from the Department of Housing and Urban Development from the federal government. This year our allocations are about $142,000 for CDBG funds, which are Community Development Block Grant funds, which can be used for public services and public infrastructure investments, and approximately $483,000 for the Home Investment Partnerships Program, which is for the city to supplement and subsidize the development of affordable housing in the city.
Thank you. Since you are up, can you tell me a little bit about number 26?
Sure. Let me just go over there, just remember what that is. Not having a good time with the paper, I'm sorry. 26, okay. So this is the 4th year of the city's participation in the Neighborhood Preservation Program with the state of New Jersey. It's a program in partnership with New Brunswick Tomorrow for the Esperanza Project. And it's primarily focused around French Street and the corridor as it extends a couple of blocks in either direction. And it allows for investment in projects and events in that corridor for neighborhood preservation and economic development.
Thank you. Mr. Luis, resolution number 6, if you could talk a little bit about that.
So item 6 is the follow-up to the item that Mr. Dominguez spoke about earlier with the ordinance and the resolution in support of setting a rate for the city to recoup costs associated with escrows for staff time and planning.
Thank you. Mr. DeBoer, I see you in the back. Can you talk a little bit about number 36? I think it's a good thing comes up.
Sure, thank you, Madam President. The healthcare kiosk is essentially a pilot national program where vending style machines are placed in certain communities. These vending machines, which are free of charge, will distribute first aid, routine first aid, or emergency medical equipment and devices. You could put literature in it as well as first aid equipment. We're working with Middlesex County to locate a suitable site to use this as a pilot where some of these life-saving measures can be distributed to the public.
Thank you. And the last one that I have is County, resolution number 9 and 10.
Oh, yes, Madam Council President, members of council, these two resolutions authorize the law firm of Manning and Scott Brown to represent the city and the city planning board and two recent lawsuits that the city received in connection with the Abundant Life Church project. Council may recall you approved the redevelopment plan for that particular site back in November of 2023. Quite frankly, before the plan was approved by the planning board, the city received these two lawsuits. They challenged the legality of the plan, the legality of the development, the unfairness of why they're not involved and the other developer is. I will tell you that the planning board and the city have been named, but so have the developer and the housing authority. We need a defense, obviously, and that's the two resolutions that authorize that law firm to represent us in those.
Thank you. So at this time, we are preparing the floor to open the meeting for public comments on the resolutions only. You have up to 5 minutes. One person, one time.
Good evening once again, Charlie Krabs in Brunswick, New Brunswick today. I have a number of items to ask about, so I'll jump right in. Number 5 is the one that was spoken about. I understand there's a public process to get input from the community. Can you ask Mr. Dominguez if anybody actually gave any public input?
Mr. Dominguez.
To date, I have not received any public comment on the plan or the process, and no one attended the public hearing that we had on it.
Thank you.
Right, and I did notice in the advertisement of that meeting that it was, or it would have been a bilingual hearing, is that correct?
Was it by you?
That's correct.
think that that's something that the city should look into doing more, and like the Board of Ed does for their meetings, have, live translation available to folks who prefer Spanish. Is that something that you're considering, or you'll consider for these meetings?
That's it. And I don't to think about. I'm not opposed to it. So.
Great. Well, I just find it unfortunate that, the one meeting that we did have that, nobody came English or Spanish. And, maybe we need to look at why that is. Is it because it was a 5 p.m. meeting? Is it because the advertisement didn't go out to the right channels? Or, obviously, some meetings people come to, and we get a lot of people at the council meetings, but this is a 5-year plan for what to do with, it's like over $1 million. So if advertised through the right channels are held, in ways that were more open, you could get more input, and I think that'd be good for everybody. I'll move on to number 9. I appreciate Mr. Shannon giving a little bit of background on this, and I guess the only outstanding question I have is, can Mr. Fleming please explain his relationship to the Abundant Life Family Worship Church? I noticed that it's no longer listed on the Meet the Council Members page on the website. Does that mean he's no longer involved, or what's the deal?
To the best of my knowledge, if it's no longer there, it's because it's no longer part of that. So, is that a correct assumption?
That answer a question about my church.
Okay.
It's not part of his. It's not in the Bible anymore. So it's not.
Okay. Well, I think it's really troubling that the city's now being sued, and Mr. Fleming took a vote about a project involving the church that he, at least in the past, has been a part of, and gave it the approval. And now the city's being sued. So I think that we should just have transparency and say what our connections are to entities, especially when they have business coming before the board. And it appears Mr. Fleming not only didn't proactively do that, but now being questioned time and time again is refusing to answer questions about his relationship to the developer. And that's bad. That's not ethical, in my view.
Mr. Shannon, do we know that allegation that Mr. Brown was saying that have we been sued because Mr. Fleming, Councilman Fleming?
I don't
Because I
usually
don't-
discuss
Yeah,
pending
pending
litigation,
litigation, but I.
but I
that's
will
like-
tell you
Mhm.
that the complaints are available publicly on, e-courts, but I read the complaints, and there's no allegations in there regarding Mr. Fleming or his vote or anything like that.
Thank you, I just wanted to make clear.
There's all
that was-
kinds of other things, but not anything like that.
Okay, well, perhaps it's a matter for the ethics board then. We'll move on to number 38. Golden Rail, and I have 2 documents I'd like to give to the council if the clerk can help me. One for each. Okay, so I'm very troubled by what seems to be going on with the Golden Rail. Before I ask my question, I want to ask, does anybody have a conflict of interest involving the Golden Rail here? Including the law department, anybody in the law department have a conflict with the,
What are you getting at, Mr. Cardinal?
just asking if anybody has a conflict?
And I'm asking you why you're getting at, without question.
It's just a question, that's
It's
what
very
I'm.
specific question, so
Right,
there's a
I-
reason why you're asking. There's always something behind, usually when you ask something like this, because you know something or you're coming up with something, so that's why I'm asking.
I'm trying to.
What's behind it?
So, it's yes or
So
no
be
question.
clear, let's be transparent. You're always talking about transparency, let's be transparent. Ask your question, be transparent.
I did ask the question, it's up to you if you want to
So,
answer. Does anybody have a conflict either in the council or the law
I'm
department?
not aware, we're not gonna answer that because I'm not aware, so I'm not gonna answer something that I'm not aware of.
Okay. What I handed you is a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 serious crimes that took place with the Golden Rail, and none of them have been solved, including one where it was the staff that committed the assault. So I would like to have this looked into before the next hearing, so that I'm going to ask about it again at the next meeting, so I hope you'll research it and get back to me. Thanks.
Next one?
What's
Anybody
that?
else on the resolution?
Hi, yes, I'm gonna just say with 31, due to where all of you know that I am in Harpers. I know Fuku Man has been working on the mural on 14 Jersey Avenue, but what I will be speaking on later with the connection to this. I'm tired every time I go past 14 Jersey Avenue. Wow. I have the police department, each one of them looking at me due to I do not have a damn restraining order or anything. No, let me finish. Let me.
Resolution, so you.
Good, I'm talking about the resolution.
What is the resolution?
It's about painting the mural, due to yes, I would love to join, but like I said, I'm tired of damn New Brunswick Police Department, looking at me, you keep following me, what do you think I have a body camera for?
What I would suggest for you is to get in touch with COLAB, so you could be part of it, they're the one in charge.
No, it's not them, it's New Brunswick Police Department, due to from back in February, from a damn restraining order that was put against me, which was dismissed by the judge.
Again, COLAB is the one.
No, like I said, it's New Brunswick Police Department.
COLAB is the one in charge of restoring this mural. If you're an artist, because I know you are not an artist, you want to help, get in touch with them.
Well, good, you tell damn New Brunswick Police Department what? I don't have no restraint, I was in that area, lived over in that area looking for the workers.
Thank you, we could talk about it in the.
Oh, well, you best believe I will, because I'm taking it all to the news against just about all of you.
Anything else, any other resolution?
Due to where with Feasters Park. Would you please tell me what's to be done? 34. Excuse me, Pittman Park.
Ask Mr. Valenti, Mr. Valenti? Before the change order for.
Yes, Madam Council President, this is essentially a closeout. Change order for Zenith Construction, who was the contractor, did primarily 98% of the work was done at Feaster Park.
This is just a final payment of whatever.
Yes, there may be one minor one after this, but this is pretty much a catch-up with the project, yes.
Well, honestly, I never did see due to what the part of where Pittman Park was supposed to be put down with flowers, certain type of things. What has that been changed by what was approved? That Pittman Park was to be upgraded, then that was the point of me saying, come on, please clean it up with all these drug addicts over there. 2 weeks ago, how many you got? 5, honestly, 6 calls. 5 were brought back. One person OD'd over there. Already we're starting with Picnic Park. What are these park rangers? Please, if anything, you should put money in here with these park rangers doing their job. The purpose of park rangers, and the main thing was to go over to Pittman Park to help out with Narcan so they wouldn't have to keep calling the police. But wow, honestly, the state or feds was over there due to but is New Brunswick doing anything to help this? No. Why? Because of good council members. I meant to have 6 calls, ambulance. And it's not even summertime yet.
Any other resolution, Ms. Danielle, especially?
Stop thinking, honestly, I don't even want to, I tell you, the way I'm in so much pain, because the reason why I'm in pain is based on because of some of you council members. I don't even want to really look at you. I'm trying not to cry. But I'm going to continue because when I finish, I will be taking it to the news channel.
Anybody else?
What you call.
Anybody else from the public wishes to address the council with the resolutions only at this point? Seeing none, move the resolutions.
Second.
Councilmember Castañeda.
Yes, with the exceptions of 15, 17, 26, and 31, where I abstain.
Duly noted. Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig. Yes. Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. So I have a few updates before we continue with the meeting. Just as I explained the last time we met, we're going to have the report on the homeless outreach team and the efforts that have been done with the State Center. We will have the report ready for next meeting. We'll give an update, quarterly update for what has been going on. There was a question at the last meeting whether the climate resiliency plan was in our website. I believe it is. I was informed that it is already in our website for the public to look at it. There was a question about the stormwater ordinance after we found out what were the follow-up steps, next step for that. Mr. Lewis, if you want to just say a few things about that.
Yeah, yes, the ordinance does call for a number of responsive public reports involving council, some involving public entities, and all those items have been tracked. The administration has them calendared. We are at the beginning of the implementation stage, and those items are being considered.
Thank you. And then there was also a question about, the New Brunswick Police Department, if they have purchased anything, through the agreement, the 1033 LESO program, Captain Hoover? There was a question whether we have, the New Brunswick Police Department had purchased anything, any equipment through that contract.
Not since 2017, Council President.
Thank you. So at this point,
Council President, it was not a purchase, by the way, sorry. It was acquisition, it was not a purchase.
Acquisition, that's right, thank you. At this time, I'm gonna, ask Councilwoman Sikora Lopez to give her the floor. She has a statement.
I do have a statement that I'd like to read. I cannot speak directly to the matters which will be adjudicated in traffic court. Those matters will be addressed at the appropriate time. I can, however, speak to you regarding the court of public opinion. We often utter sentiments about mental health issues, but quite honestly, there is still a stigma that surrounds seeking sanctuary and professional guidance. PTSD, grief, and abuse are very personal, and they're very real. They are not a suffering bound by intelligence or strength. They are not a limit bound in perseverance, accomplishments, or compassion. Some people will judge you. Do not let them. Some people will try to exploit you for their own benefit without regard for your well-being. Do not let them. That is their weakness, not yours. I have always been compelled to stay strong for others dealing with the same pain, hoping I could help them endure, to help make their hearts hurt just a little less, not realizing the impact it was having on my own. I would carry that weight all over again, but I now know it is not selfish to take care of myself as well. And if my words today resonate with just one person, I'm happy I found the courage to share them with you. To my constituents, family, friends, neighbors, and colleagues of varietal interests, your overwhelming support and outreach of compassionate caring, the support you showed at the polls yesterday, grant me endearing hope that you continue to believe in my commitment to serve you, to serve my community, to forge forward with my philanthropic endeavors to help those in need throughout the state and beyond. It is a passion and a responsibility that live deep in my heart always. And under advice of legal counsel, I am not making any other statements or answering any other questions at this time.
Thank you. And I would like to make a statement on behalf of the council. So on behalf of the city council, we are aware of the traffic offenses, including a legal without summons issued to Ms. Sikora following the motor vehicle accident on March 8th. Driving under the influence is a threat to community safety, and we want to stress the seriousness of such actions. Our foremost concern is the well-being and safety of every individual in our community. It is, though, equally important to remember that Ms. Sikora Ludwig is entitled to due process and the presumption of innocence until a court decision is made. As we navigate this situation, we must approach this with fairness and respect. Allowing the legal system, if you continue behaving that way, I'm gonna ask you to step up, and I don't wanna do that. Thank you.
Do whatever you want.
Allowing the legal system to take its course and avoid premature judgment. The city council, as is usually our practice, will not entertain any questions or provide further comments on this matter. As such, we are going to open the floor for public comments. You have up to 1 minute to come in. This is not a question and answer period. I always remind everyone.
You have up to a
This
minute
is
or
5 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
We want to hear from everyone. Let's do this with respect, and if you are not able to control yourself, I ask you respectfully to just step outside, calm down, and then come back, because I don't want to have to use the matter of taking you out of the meeting. I want everybody to have an opportunity to express and to talk respectfully with one another.
Hi, yes, tell me more. Honestly, I'm in so much pain. I'm trying not even damn cry. But, oh, well, I'll tell you, yes, Suzanne Sikora Ludwig, yes, I will be taking you to the news channel. To where what? Back in 2002. What did I tell you with this damn Alexander Yunus damn harassing me, following me when my phone was on a tracker? What? Director of Las America Unida. Have a fucking day! I just wanna ask, well, first of all, thank you for giving today the Guelaguetza, and I want you can come to our 21 Guelaguetza Festival. Has been 20 years doing this event at Boyd Park. I think it's nice and it's good to have this event like this happening in our city to show the diversity that exists in our city. And the other question that I have is here because we have two elders that come to ask a question that we just want to be able to translate for them what they want to ask using my time.
Hable, señora, hable.
Mire, yo vine a ver que si nos podían dar permiso porque yo vendía en la yarda de mi casa por dentro, pero llegó la policía y nos dijo que ya no podíamos vender porque si nos poníamos a vender nos iban a dar un ticket y que viniéramos para que nos dieran un permiso, que el permiso no valía más que $5 o $10.
She's asking for a permit to sell from her house. She said that the police was sending things and so they told her to come here to ask for permission so she could sell. ¿Qué usted vendía, señora?
Vendía yo elotes, esquites, aguas frescas.
So this is not the place on it. Señora, este no es le informaron incorrecto, este no es el lugar donde usted tiene que venir, pero le vamos a dar información de Leslie Celedón, que ella le va a poder dar la información que usted va a necesitar porque eso está regulado. El vender comida está regulado por el Departamento de Salud del condado, por la ciudad, y no se permite, para poder hacerlo hay que tener ciertas regulaciones y ciertos procedimientos, ¿no?
Sí.
Pero Leslie le va a ayudar, le va a dar la información. Leslie, can we give her the information now so she doesn't have to wait?
Okay.
Yeah. Se la vamos a dar ahora para que no tenga que esperar al final de la reunión. Y tengan información y se comunique con ella y habla español. I was just giving the information for her to get in touch with Leslie. She will give her the regulations and procedures on how to be a vendor, to sell from their home. I told her that there's regulations from the Department of Health, the county, and also the city in order to do that. So Leslie's going to give her the information. So ya Leslie va a dar la información, ¿ok?
Muchísimas gracias.
A la orden.
And I think based on now that I made here also is that's a question so many other people, the street vendors, about the whether they can sell or not, or where they can get the vendor's license to do things that not necessarily as food, but they
Yeah,
need.
I don't think we do that, but Mr. Shanley, there's a difference.
Madam Council President, members of council, members of the public, the city of New Brunswick has a peddler's license that's available under its ordinances. A peddler's license is very specific with respect to the type of conduct someone can engage in when they sell their goods or wares. It deals with a vendor who's on the move, if you will. The ordinance is very specific. A peddler's license does not allow someone to just operate in one location on a city sidewalk for 8 hours a day. Literally, that peddler is a peddler who's supposed to be on the move, and you really can't stay in one place for more than 30 minutes. Can't return to that place again for at least 2 hours. I don't want to quote chapter and verse of the ordinance, but that's my recollection of it. So if a particular individual is envisioning to be able to get a license that allows that individual to set up a table or to stand on a city corner and sell flowers or juice or wares or whatever it may be for an indefinite amount of time, there is no such license available under the City of New Brunswick ordinances.
Okay, so then maybe now that I'm hearing this, probably be good to have information available for community members to understand that. The difference, because I think I see a lot of, you see these elders, right? So they need more information about them. I saw them walking in the street selling items. So I think it fits perfectly into what you already told us today. So I think it's just a matter of information so they can get the permit and understand also and receive the certification or the training they need to understand what they can do, what is not allowed in the city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Captain Hoover.
I just wanted to add to that very valid concern. Our community policing unit is educating vendors, street vendors, and business owners along the French Street corridor about those parameters.
Thank you, so that's a start, very good. Yes, Susan?
Question, I know when you're working on your house and you get a permit for plumbing and electricity, there's a piece of paper that goes somewhere on a window or something like that. Is it necessary for the vendors or somebody selling from their home or something like that to publicize, their...
With respect to a peddler's license, they have to have the license available for viewing if a police officer or someone from the clerk's office would so request it. So they have to be licensed. There are very strict requirements with respect to a peddler's license. You have to have insurance, you have to have a designated mode of your sales. I mean, you have to specify all of these things under the ordinance. In fact, under our ordinances, you're supposed to give receipts. All of those types of things are requirements. So it is something that people need to look at and see if they're still interested in complying with our ordinances in order to obtain such a license.
Not necessarily a peddler's thing, but a yard sale, a garage
Well,
sale, those kind of stuff.
a yard sale or a garage sale is a different animal, if you will. Our ordinance allows for that. And it limits how many you can have per month, per year, I think it is. And that is something that people get permits for. But you can't have a garage sale or a yard sale every Saturday or Sunday, every weekend of every month throughout the year. That's something different. You also get into zoning issues. People want to sell things out of their house. They don't have a business license. Their house may, in that particular area, is not zoned for commercial purposes. So there's a lot of requirements that have to be considered for people who want to sell things.
But there's nothing that has to be visible. But
To make it more difficult, if you're selling food from your house.
That's how
No, what you're talking about, Mr. Anderson, is under the Uniform Construction Code, when you have a permit, you're doing work on your house, you have to display in your window. Right. I don't know if our ordinance says you have to wear a peddler's license tag around your neck. I can't tell you. I haven't looked at
even
it.
for the garage sale, the yard sale.
With a garage sale, you're supposed to have your permit.
But it doesn't have to be visible.
It's supposed to be visible on the garage.
Yes, you need to have it with you if the police come by.
If they come by.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be posted on your garage.
But I think
You
this
need to have
is
it.
good conversation, because, yeah, in the community, there's some questions, so you will say, I'm glad that the police started with the French Street area.
Right.
And it's something that some of us can talk to some of the community organizations working with different residents, that they could start giving this information out. It's important to understand it.
Council President, if I can, I just want to also mention that with the peddler's application, we do attach the city ordinance to it, so that they can read through that thoroughly and understand the do's and don'ts.
If they speak the language, do we have it in Spanish? So
Well,
that's something that later we have to do. But yeah, but definitely. But it is a start. But thank you. Are you taking?
it went off already?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're ready for, okay, yes, I'm ready, yeah.
Is now the time?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, questions. So one thing, I am looking forward to the next meeting where there'll be an update on, programs, about the homelessness crisis. I think that's obviously a very important issue that affects many different areas of a lot of different people's lives. So, I'm looking forward to hearing the update on that, and hopefully there'll be an opportunity to ask questions and have a dialogue as well. So today we heard the ordinance for the temporary seasonal closure of a section of George Street, but I wanted to check in on what's the current status of the constable proposal to permanently close that section of George Street? Is there any update on where we stand?
To the best of my knowledge, they have not, we don't have any updates yet. As soon as we get updates, like I promised, we're gonna continue, but at this time, there's no updates.
Okay. do we have any sense of, you know, are we talking weeks, months, years in terms
I
of
will
when?
find out because that's something that is.
Very hard, very hard to say.
So it's.
Right, I mean, obviously, it's variable, it's hard to predict, but, you know, a general sense of timeline, or at least, you know, an opportunity for further public input, would be helpful. And then another thing that hopefully is, I'll bring up again, hopefully a simple, request, but perhaps it's something that will end up being more complicated than I think it is. At Feaster Park for the public restrooms, there isn't any signs on the doors identifying that they are restrooms or whether they are mutual rooms. So I have a recollection of where things are from, you know, from when they opened last year, when there were little pieces of paper taped up on the door, but those aren't there anymore, and so probably most people don't know. Can there be signs put up indicating the availability of the restrooms?
We hear Mr. Valenti heard you, so he just gave me a thumbs up.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anybody else from the public wishes to address the council?
Good evening, Council. Michael Tublin, Hiram Square. I am a resident. I live, work, and play here. I'm on the board of the HOA. I'm a Democratic committee man for Ward 5, District 1, which is basically the downtown area, and I want to commend you on closing the street, George Street, for the summer. The residents and our association is thrilled about it, and most of the people that I speak to are to have this breath of fresh air, to be able to dine outside and have public seating for everyone is just a wonderful opportunity, and I look forward to spending a lot of time outside, so thank you.
Anybody else from the public? Seeing none? Motion. Go ahead.
Good evening, council members. Carlos Ramirez, reporter with New Brunswick Today. I want to start off by saying thank you for speaking Spanish to that lady that wanted to bring and to come here and ask questions. And I think she's on the right step if she intends to run a business properly. So Charlie was mentioning about providing possibly interpreting services for those that do want to listen in Spanish or come to the meetings to be able to understand what's going on. As well, you know, you did mention there are officers out there trying to teach people what they need to do if they want to run a food business. We see many vendors selling different type of stuff with no permits. So I think that's good. I do applaud the city for posting a picture about the using of traffic cones to obstruct public sidewalks and public streets. So that's good. I feel like we should post that in both in Spanish and English, as the majority of people in the city do speak Spanish as well. So I feel like we should post random posts about city ordinance that we see many residents failing to comply with. So that's one good stuff that's been coming out of the website and the page of social medias now. The other thing I wanted to inquire about was the Mexican consulate recently had their presidential elections along with other types of elections, and there was police out there controlling the situation. Now, did they solicit that same day for police presence, or this was something police just decided to roll up on?
I will have to get that information.
That is great. I hope we can get an update on that. Now, I did get some, what I would consider an unlawful request from an officer to remove myself from the public sidewalk. That is just probably like 10, 15 feet away from the entrance of that consulate. Now, they wanted the media or the press to go across the street. Now, I don't need to move across the street. Other reporters, other outlets can do that if that's what they would do. I personally would stay on the public side of the street. Now, when I inquired who had given the order to remove the press off the sidewalk, they said from the Mexican consulate. Now, our New Brunswick police officer following orders from foreign governments that are not issued by the city. And another follow-up would be at 322 Second Street this Sunday around 3:38 a.m. There was a suspect who unlawfully entered a vehicle and burglarized one of them, including an Apple device, which is able to be tracked. We were able to provide accurate timing to a dispatcher of where this device and the suspect was, matching the description of security cameras. Now, there was an officer who responded to the location hours after and was able to, prior to us notifying dispatch about a GPS and finding the suspect, there was an officer who arrived at the location, was able to review footage, but we were not able to download the footage, and he will say that they will send a detective on Monday. Now, the detective never came, there was no number generated as an incident report for the victim, and following that, officers visit to the property. We were able to track the individual, the suspect, matching the description of security cameras. We notified in Brunswick's non-emergency at 5200. However, when officers did arrive about an hour after, the suspect was still present at the location we had spotted him. Police arrived on the location and told the victim that they were not able to make contact with the individual in order to make an arrest because they did need a physical clear image of showing the face of the suspect committing the crime. Now, while we did have that, we were on the process of obtaining that. However, police waited last minute to try to make contact with the individual and did not even approach the person to even question him based on the allegations to at least get his type of identification. Now, it's Wednesday, we're still waiting for a detective to come and retrieve that footage from that address, and we've been calling dispatch, been transferred, we're in a loop around, nobody knows who's investigating, there's no incident number, so as of right now, the incident never occurred, and that hard drive of the surveillance cameras is on a time frame where after certain days it gets deleted. So I hope you can reach out to somebody to get properly to the location.
Captain Hoover is here, so I saw him taking notes, so I'm pretty sure we'll follow up on that.
I hope it's soon because our cameras only record for X amount of days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public before we close the meeting?
Barbara Burton again. I do have a question on that ABC license, the Rhythm Hospitality. It says the social room that was located at 367 George Street is permanently closed. So why do they need a renewal of a ABC license?
Mr. Shannon.
Well, they are closed at that particular location, but they renew the license.
Excuse me, there is a lot of noise around here. Makes it very difficult for us to hear you because you don't have any mics. Excuse me for interrupting.
My apologies. I was trying to see, because at some point I couldn't hear you there, so thank you. Mr. Shannon.
No problem. The ABC license that you refer to has to be renewed on an annual basis. It's not being active at that location, but it has to be renewed. And the owner of the license obviously wants to make sure the license doesn't lapse. These are special conditions that were imposed, and they were specific to the operation at that location. Certainly, the licensee could come in and ask that the special conditions be removed or modified. They didn't do that in connection with tonight's proceeding. But perhaps when they go to transfer it at a different location, they could ask for that. If, in fact, the special conditions are moot, if you will.
Okay, I have a follow-up question to that. That license, couldn't it be inactive since they are not actively using it? I'll use a nursing license. You can be actively working as a nurse, or you can put it in inactive status. And when you need it, you can call it back up.
It could be inactive, and as long as it's renewed, it could be inactive, but it's still a valid license.
Okay, they may want to think about that because the place is closed and it's another restaurant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Without a license.
Correct. Thank you.
You're welcome.
At this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Castaneda?
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson?
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming?
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin? Councilmember